This is the most dangerous patch of ocean on Earth. 3 adventurers had just rowed their boat to this spot, when to their horror they saw a large number of sharks, swarming towards them from all directions. The terrifying scene before their eyes instantly sent them into a panic, frantically grabbing their oars and paddling like mad. Little did they expect the shark fins around them grew taller and taller, engulfing their rubber raft in an instant. But by the time they realized what was happening, a giant hole suddenly appeared in the center of the ocean, with all the seawater pouring into it. It was then that they finally recognized the guardian monster of the northern sea, Charybdis. Those sharp spikes were not shark fins, but the teeth of Charybdis. However, by the time they figured it out, it was already too late. The raft began getting sucked into the monster's mouth. At this point, all they could do was cling desperately to the raft, as the monster pulled them into its gullet. Unexpectedly, after a series of violent jolts, they found themselves inside the sea monster's belly, completely unscathed. Looking up, the ground was littered with the wreckage of ships and planes. Suddenly, they heard a voice coming from the distance. They quickly followed the sound to investigate, and to their surprise, they discovered that a warship had also been swallowed, with their friend Annie aboard. However, before they could catch up, the warship suddenly began to shake violently. It turned out that the sea monster's stomach had started working, with dense rows of serrated teeth, churning and crushing everything inside. Fortunately, in this critical moment, Percy had a stroke of genius. He quickly climbed up to the gun turret, and immediately began a furious assault on the monster's stomach lining. Sure enough, it had the desired effect. The mucous membrane of the monster's stomach was quickly punctured, then a massive influx of seawater suddenly gushed in. At Percy's command, the battleship instantly burst through the monster's body, surfacing just before the seawater could crush the hull. However, Percy and his companions were not particularly happy, because they still needed to find the legendary golden fleece that could resurrect anything. Just as Percy was at his wit's end, he suddenly noticed a glow emanating from the ocean surface. Even after staring at it for a long time, he couldn't make sense of its meaning. Then, in a flash of insight, Percy realized that this was an ancient nautical chart, and the numbers on it were the coordinates of the golden fleece's location. The warship immediately revved up its engines and set off towards the fleece's coordinates. Soon they spotted an island through their telescope. Upon landing, they discovered that this place should have been a cheerful amusement park, but now it had turned into a wasteland, with the ground littered with the remains of half-orcs. Unexpectedly, as soon as they entered a cave, several crates suddenly shattered in front of them, startling them into quickly taking cover. At that moment, they suddenly saw a one-eyed giant coercing a sheep monster. Seeing this, Percy vaulted over the Cyclops' shoulder, successfully grabbing the golden fleece. Then, before the giant could charge at them, he swiftly blocked the doorway with a boulder, and successfully escaped.